Hello, this is Zahirul. Welcome you all on Frankly Speaking. My guest today is Christa Rader. She is the representative and country director of United Nations World Food Programme in Bangladesh. She is in Bangladesh for almost 8 years in a row. Prior to that, she worked in Sierra Leone, Laos, PDR, Italy, Egypt in different capacities. She came to Bangladesh first in 1985 to work as a research associate on rural household economy in Bogura. Then again, she came as head of management information and worked from 1992 to 1996 for World Food Programme Bangladesh. After working in different countries, she came again in Bangladesh as the representative and country director, WFP Bangladesh, in October 2010, and since then she is here. We welcome her on Frankly Speaking.
Thank you.
You have a very close tie with Bangladesh. Have been working for and with Bangladesh for many years, representing World Food Programme. I know you have already learned some Bangla. কেমন আছেন?
আমি ভালো আছি। আপনি কেমন?
আমিও ভালো আছি। সামনে ঈদ, আমরা সবাই ঈদ উদযাপন করব। So if you like to
আমি ঈদ মুবারক সবার জন্য বলতে চাই, এই বাংলাদেশের মানুষের জন্য এবং এই রেফিউজির জন্য। এখন 10 লক্ষ রেফিউজি এই কক্সবাজারে থাকেন। আমি তাদের জন্য ঈদ মুবারক বলতে চাই।
ধন্যবাদ. Thank you very much. Let's begin with the issues you are dealing with. We know that generally hunger is one of the most pervasive, most tragic problem in the world. And you were also working in Bangladesh for many years. WFP is very actively involved. So tell us who you are actually, the World Food Programme, in a very brief.
As you say, hunger is very tragic in a world that has plenty of money, plenty of food for everybody. We still have almost 800 million hungry people in this world. And since the bulk of the population of this world is living in Asia, so also most of the hungry are still living in Asia, despite all the economic success of Asia.
But what do you do?
Here in Bangladesh, we work for emergency purposes. This is our core activity here and in other countries. But we also work with the government of Bangladesh on social safety net systems under the Sustainable Development Agenda, so that by 2030 we do not have hunger here anymore and we do not leave anyone behind.
When you see Bangladesh's situation in terms of hunger, how do you find this country?
It has tremendously improved. There is sufficient food production in Bangladesh, especially with regard to rice. Also, the incomes of people have improved. I think this is the most important aspect for food security. People have the purchasing power now, much more than they had decades ago, to purchase the food they need to lead a healthy life.
So when you are talking about that Bangladesh have made remarkable progress in food autarky, food sufficiency, self-sufficiency, so what are the areas you are very critically focusing on in Bangladesh? We'll come to the Rohingya issue later, but talk about the specific programs you are having right now for Bangladesh.
The World Food Programme works with the government on government programs through which we can achieve also a nutrition outcome, not just a food security outcome. We call this nutrition-sensitive social safety nets. We work on the Vulnerable Groups Development Program, which is a program assisting 1 million ultra-poor women and their families. So we are talking about 5 million people. And this program design has been enhanced significantly over the years by providing these women the means to ultimately take care of themselves and their families. That is one major program. The second is school feeding, which is also a government of Bangladesh program. It's about 2.9 million children which are currently assisted. by the government of Bangladesh and still a smaller portion by the World Food Programme. All primary school and pre-primary school children receive every day a packet of vitamin and mineral fortified biscuits, which they can gradually eat as they attend class, so they are not hungry and can pay full attention to studies. There is another program now coming up, and we are very interested in engaging, and this is called Child Benefit Program.
Okay.
It will involve transfers to the parents of children so that they can take care of their proper upbringing and can also take care of proper nutrition of the children.
But so there are some significant steps to improve the overall nutrition level in Bangladesh, and you are assisting for that. But generally, if I want you to comment on the state of the nutrition indicators in Bangladesh, is that encouraging? Is that significantly improved?
It has been tremendously encouraging. We saw a reduction from over 50% of the children having been stunted 2 decades ago. Stunted means they are too short for their age, and probably their cognitive capacity could also not fully develop.
Due to nutrition deficiency? Due
to nutrition deficiency. So that has reduced now to 36%, and we assume that it's in the process of further reducing, because the 36% figure is now a couple of years old. So there are significant improvements, and they are linked to the improved income, but also to the improved knowledge of caretakers, of women largely, on exclusive breastfeeding, and then after 6 months, what kind of food to give to the children.
Okay. I know, Christa Rader, you have been working for improving, developing the capacity of the countries you are working with, in particular, especially when you were talking about Bangladesh. Definitely, we have also made good degree of progress in disaster management, in preparedness. Definitely. But in this part, we would especially would like to focus on the Rohingya issue. How difficult is the situation right now in Cox's Bazar, and when you are dealing with a huge number of Rohingya people, what you are facing now?
It's a huge challenge for all, for the government and also for assistance agencies, humanitarian agencies. We are talking about 1 million refugees now being in Bangladesh. We are talking about more than 600,000 living in one very congested place in Ukia Upazila of Cox's Bazar, in a mega camp. They need to...
You visited a couple of times.
Yes, there. Many times. And they need to eat on a daily basis. They are human beings. They need food, they need water, they need shelter. They also need education, they need health services. So it's a huge challenge. Now we are entering the rainy season.
Yes, but we'll come to the rainy season context. But I mean, when the crisis emerged, broke out, what was your immediate response, and how you are moving forward with your response?
I'm proud to say that WFP was there from day one, because we have had a presence in Cox's Bazar since long. We provided immediately biscuits when the refugees started arriving. Then we moved to rice distributions, 30 kilos per family. Then after some weeks, we moved into the distribution of rice pulses and oil to all families. At the moment, we are providing food every day to 850,000 people. 650,000 get it still as food in kind, meaning rice pulses and oil, and a bit more than 200,000 have an electronic voucher. And with that, they can go shopping in designated shops, outlets, where they can choose among 19 food items. We want to move all these refugees.
But is that sustainable? I mean, the way you are supporting, that's very remarkable, very commendable. But what is your opinion that the amount of support you are receiving from the global community, from is that encouraging? Is that enough for supporting the huge number of people in the coming days?
It has been enough so far. The international community has stepped up and has provided us assistance.
Okay.
But we still have a big gap until the end of the year. We still have a gap of almost $160 million,
okay,
which we need to raise funds for.
Okay.
So it
$160 million.
Yes, it is a challenge, but also so far the international community has come forward, and I would very much hope that they continue to come forward so that we can provide food.
Country Director and Representative of World Food Program Bangladesh, Christa, Rader, you were talking about an underpinning hope and the funding situation. Just please continue.
So I just mentioned we still need, in the scope of $160 million until the end of the year. Our monthly bill is $24 million in order to provide the minimum needed food assistance.
So when you talk about $160 million support, then if you...
This is the gap until the end of the year.
End of the year. So if you find, so if the monthly bill is $20+ million, then how long you can maintain this up? I mean, 8 months or 9 months, then what will be next?
At the moment, we have a pipeline of food until July, August.
Okay.
So not that far. And we need immediate new donations in order to continue.
Is there any significant pledge for that from the global community?
There have been, so far, significant pledges, but we need continued support. If I count all the proposals we have written, then we still have a significant...
If it doesn't happen, then what will be the possible crisis in the...
I still do not want to talk about that it doesn't happen. It will happen, and I'm confident that the international community will step up to provide support to these desperate people who have so little opportunities to make a living on their own.
You were talking about the rainy season, the catastrophic consequences if it strikes.
If it strikes, we could have landslides. We want to prevent that by, and we have resettled people. It is not the World Food Program that has resettled. It's other UN agencies like UNHCR and IOM that have resettled, I believe now, 28,000 people from the most precarious places to flattened land. WFP was involved in the engineering work to flatten this land. And we are still involved in cleaning out drainage channels so that the landslides can be prevented. We are also doing cash for work to stabilize the slopes in order to prevent. And also we built steps with sandbags.
Do you think that is sustainable and safe in the long run?
We will need to see. It will depend on how strong the monsoon is this year. We have done whatever we could do, and we continue to do whatever we can to prevent. If it happens, we will all have to get our act together to help the people relocate.
Very briefly, what is the WFP's long-term plans for refugees? Very briefly.
As long as they cannot earn any income, we have to provide food assistance to them. However, we would wish that there is some relaxation on this restriction, that refugees can contribute to their own living with various kind of activities from which probably Bangladesh can also benefit. One could think of private sector investment, one could think of waste management, also production of items that are needed in the camp, like soap making, etc. For the moment, we have created employment with our disaster risk reduction work, and about 6,000 people have gotten employment.
Thank you so much, Christa, for joining me on Frankly Speaking. Dear viewers, that was my conversation with Christa Rader, Representative and Country Director of the World Food Program in Bangladesh. Thank you for watching this show. We invite you to watch our next episode. Until then, to take care and goodbye.